Hello and welcome to another Writerly Witterings. Today I'm talking about things to write with, because I have been trying to get to this stage for a while, and at last I've got some spare time, and so I'm going to be talking about these little monsters, Kaweco pens and pencils. And I have to say up front that some of these were donated very generously by Cult Pens for me to have a look at. So thank you to Cult Pens, and let's have a little look at what these things are all about. It has to be said, I like big pens. I like my Visconti pens. I like them because they fill my hand nicely. It makes a good reach through the back of the hand, and because they're big, you can vary the hold, and that makes it more comfortable to use for extended periods. But when you go out and about, you don't necessarily want to have a big pen. Now, I have, over the years, collected many different types of pen, but my favourite, I think I have to say, for pens that are just light, portable and easy to use, has to be this fantastic little company called Kaweco. Kaweco's a German firm. They started out, I think, in the 1920s or 30s. With this type of design, which is a simple plastic design. It's got a cap that's hexagonal, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, hexagonal. They come with clips that can be slid on or off, not terribly easily, so you don't want it to just come straight off in your hand, obviously. But you can either use these pens without the clip, or you can use them with the clip on. But the nice thing about these, just push that on properly, is that when you unscrew it and fit the cap, you can see that when it's without the cap, it is very, very small. I can't really write with that at all. But when you cap it, it suddenly becomes a full-size pen. And it's an absolute joy to write with too. These nibs are very, very smooth, very, very fluid. They're only steel, but steel nibs can be as good as any other very often. Kawecos can always be told because on the nib there's a little circular Kaweco logo, which oddly enough is the same as that logo on the top of the cap. Kaweco. The company was set up, as I say, in the 20s or 30s, and they kept ticking over for donkey's years. But more recently, they've got to be specialists in designing different types of pen. Now, this shape they call the Sport. This is the first Kaweco I bought, which is the Kaweco Aluminium Sport. And as you can see, this has been used extensively. It's been in my pocket for donkey's years whenever I go out, because I don't always necessarily want to have to carry a pen that's that bit heavier and larger. These things fit straight in your pocket and they're very comfortable to use. This one in particular, the AL Sport, I think is just lovely because it feels really good in the hand with the extra weight that the aluminium gives it. They tend to use standard ink cartridges, but you can also use a small trying to think of how you describe it, but a squeezy rubber filler that'll fit inside there. It has to be very small. The ink capacity is tiny, but you can get them, and I prefer to use them because then it means that I can get ink all over my fingers. It means that the pen can be used with any different type of ink you want. In this one, I've just got a standard black diamine cartridge, international cartridge. As well as these standard AL Sports, they do a whole variety of other pens as well. This one is one of my favourites. I've got to say thank you to Cult Pens for this. They gave me this and a couple of the others for testing some years ago. This, obviously, the Lilliput pen, is even smaller than a standard Kaweco without its cap. But if you look at the top there, they've got screw threads, the same as the screw threads at the front. So when you've uncapped it, you can post the cap on the back, and all of a sudden you've got, again, a fully usable pen, full size, that writes absolutely beautifully. It's just like a dream. Wonderful pens to use. Same here, it takes the same international ink cartridge. Nice and straightforward to use. And this one is solid brass. They also do this in steel, which is beautiful because the mad owner of Kaweco is always looking for different things that he can do to make the pens more appealing. So he designed a version of this that's plain steel that has different colours. It's been heated at different temperatures all the way up. So you get blues and bronzes and golds all the way through the pen. It's absolutely beautiful to look at. But it does cost a little bit more because the owner of Kaweco himself does all the heating. He goes downstairs, I believe, in the basement in the Kaweco factory. There's one room where he sits with a Bunsen burner and just individually heats your pen for the best possible look and appearance. They don't only do pens, they do pencils. This is a small mechanical pencil type that they do. Very nice, very convenient for sketching. They also do I think it's a 2.5 or 3 millimeter lead holder type of mechanical pencil as well, a clutch pencil. I just like these clear plastic ones. They do the pens in clear plastic. They do all different types and models. But that's a lovely little device to work with as well. Out of all of these, though, I have to say, when I'm out and about, this will stay in my pocket most commonly. This sometimes, not quite so commonly, but in recent months, the pen that I've been carrying most of all is this little lightweight plastic one, because although it is only a plastic, it's not an expensive pen. It's, I think, 14 or 15 pounds from Cult Pens, but it just is delightful to use. The ink flows superbly every time with all of them, but this is really light. It clips straight to the front of your shirt pocket, and so this one gets my vote as being my standard everyday carry just now. It's a wonderful little pen. Right, well, I hope you found that interesting. I've done a lot of videos with different items, and I've never done one before where the dog has just got up and walked out while I started talking, so apologies for my slightly blank expression there. But thanks very much to Cult Pens for letting me have some of these to have a play with. If you enjoyed this, please let me know at the bottom. Put a comment in the comments section. If you enjoyed it, like it, share it, do all those other good things, and hopefully that means that I can look at some other pens and pencils in the future for you too. Thanks very much for your time. Comments down the bottom, and speak to you soon. Cheers.